Good morning. We have already discussed a few parts of menstruation in last topic. Today we will discuss it further. So, what is menstruation? It is the visible manifestation of cyclical physiological uterine bleeding due to the shedding of endometrium. And all these are effect occurs due to the effects of ovarian hormone. It is so menstruation is women's monthly cycle, and the purpose of this cycle is to prepare the body for pregnancy. And if pregnancy doesn't occur, the endometrium starts shedding and bleeding starts. So the menstrual cycle starts during puberty. The first commencement of menstruation is called menarche, and its age is 11 to 15 years, and the average is 12 years. So we have discussed already the endometrial ovarian cycle. Actually, the menstruation or menstrual cycle includes the both ovarian cycle and the endometrial cycle. Ovarian cycle we have discussed. Today we will focus on endometrial cycle. So menstruation is regular natural change that occur in female reproductive system. The changes are in uterus mainly and ovaries. There is development of follicle that makes the pregnancy follicle. The cycle is required for the production of oocyte and for the preparation of uterus for pregnancy. The ovarian cycle results in production of oocyte, and the uterine cycle or endometrial cycle causes the preparation of uterus for the pregnancy. And all these changes are under the effect of ovarian hormone estrogen and progesterone. The ovum is released from the ovary around the 14th day of the cycle, which is called ovulation. The thickened lining of uterus provide nutrition to the embryo after implantation. If pregnancy doesn't occur, the lining is released or shed, what is known as menstruation or period. So in this figure you can see it is this half of uterus is showing the uterine lining before the start of period or menstruation. There is thickening of endometrial lining. There is preparation of endometrial bed under the effect of ovarian hormone, and this is showing uterus after menstruation or bleeding phase is over. The endometrium line is shed and expelled through the vagina. So menstrual cycle can be described by both ovarian cycle or uterine cycle. The ovarian cycle describes the changes occur in the follicle. Ovarian cycle we have discussed, it has what are the phases? The follicular phase, the ovulation, and the luteal phase. But we will describe the uterine cycle or endometrial cycle under three phases, which is the proliferative phase, the secretive phase, and menstrual phase. Sometime regenerative phase is also included. First there is regenerative phase, then proliferative phase, and then secretory, lastly the bleeding phase. So in this figure you can see the both cycle. Here is the ovarian cycle, the follicular phase. Then there is ovulation, and here in this part there is luteal phase. There is formation of corpus luteum and its regression. And in lower part you can see after menstruation end there is proliferative phase of the endometrium. There is start of endometrium thickening and changes in the vessels and the glands. And after ovulation, you can see after ovulation the secretory phase started here, and there is further proliferation of endometrium and the blood vessels, glands. It become more tortuous, and with the lysis of corpus luteum, you can see here it is regressed, and again bleeding is started. The bleeding phase is started. So what are the stages of endometrial cycle? The cyclic change in endometrium is called endometrial cycle, and it is divided into 4 stage or 3 stage. The 4 stages, sometimes it is 4 stages mentioned. The first one is referred as the stage of regeneration, then the stage of proliferation, then secretory stage, and lastly the menstrual stage. So I am dividing it in 3 parts. The regenerative phase is included in the proliferative phase. See, here is the bleeding menstrual phase, then the stage of proliferation, and it extends up to the ovulation. After ovulation, the secretory phase is started. So proliferative phase, we can divide it in 2 parts, the stage of regeneration or stage of proper proliferation. So the first stage is proliferative stage. First there is regeneration of endometrium. After menstruation is over, the superficial part of endometrium, that is the function zone, is shed out along with the blood. So the first stage there is regeneration of endometrium started. It is started even before the menstruation is stopped completely, and it is completed in 2 to 3 days after the end of menstruation. What are the changes? The cubical surface epithelium is derived from the stromal cells. There is new growth of new blood vessels from the stump of old one, and the glands and the stromal cells regenerate from the remnant left in basal zone. The glands are lined by cubical epithelium and lies parallel to the surface, and thickness lies around 2 mm. In stage of proliferation, the stage extends from the 5th to 6th day to the 14th day, still ovulation. The proliferative changes occur due to rise in level of ovarian estrogen. There is proliferation of all elements. So gland become tubular and lies perpendicular to the surface. The epithelium become columnar with the nuclei placed at the base. The stromal cell become spindle shaped and compacted. The spiral vessels extend and branch to a region below the epithelium where it forms the loose capillary network. and thickness further increases to 3 to 4 mm. You can see here in this picture there is in proliferative phase. In proliferative phase, the endometrium started growing and it increases in thickness. Here the menstruation is ended, and from here endometrium start growing, and there is growth of this blood vessels from the stump of woman, and also there is growth of glands. So proliferation and differentiation of endometrium are stimulated by the hormone estrogen that is secreted by the developing follicle. Level of estrogen rises early in follicular phase and its peak just before ovulation, and after ovulation its level comes down, and in further later stages there is more production of progesterone, and the growth of endometrium occur under the effect of progesterone. The next phase is the secretory phase. What are the changes? Changes of components are due to the combined effect of both hormones, estrogen and progesterone, but mainly due to the progesterone from the corpus luteum, which is liberated from the corpus luteum after ovulation. The endometrium contain receptor for the progesterone, which are induced by estrogen, and progesterone can only act on endometrium previously primed with estrogen. Progesterone stimulates the glandular component of endometrium and thus induce secretory changes to the endometrium, and the epithelial cell exhibits the marked increase in secretory activity. All the component display their growth, and it begins on 15 day and stops 5 to 6 days prior to the menstruation. What are the changes? The surface epithelium become more columnar. It becomes ciliated at places. The glands increases in size. Glands become corkscrew shaped. The blood vessels undergo marked spiraling. The stromal cells become swollen, large and polyhedral. The endometrial thickness increases further up to 6 to 8 mm. There is vascularization of endometrium and increase in thickness of endometrium, increase in glandular activity. Endometrial glands become engorged with secretion. They become twisted, corkscrew shaped, and they are no longer straight and become tortuous. So in this picture also you can see the effects of hormone and the blood vessels. See, it is tortuous, spiraling of blood vessels occur, and there is a maximum growth of endometrium in the secretory phase, and this effect are mainly due to the effect of hormone progesterone, although estrogen also have some role. The initial part is under the effect of mainly estrogen. You can see the ovarian hormone estrogen is peaked and its level comes down just prior to the ovulation. And here you can correspond with the ovarian cycle. Here is the ovulation. Again I am repeating, the ovarian cycle is divided in 3 parts: the follicular phase, the ovulatory phase and the luteal phase, while the it is divided in three parts, mainly proliferative phase, secretory phase and the menstrual phase. You can see with the ovulation there is LS surge, with the LS surge there is ovulation, and you can compare the hormonal levels here in this diagram. Here is the body temperature, which is persistently raised after ovulation and comes down just before the start of menstrual cycle, next menstrual cycle. So during the late luteal phase of the menstrual cycle, just before the next menstruation, the level of both estrogen and progesterone diminished. So with the luteolysis, you can see with the lysis of corpus luteum, the level of both hormones is decreases. There is marked spiraling of arteries, and with the withdrawal of hormone, estrogen and progesterone causes intense spasm of spiral arteries at the basal part. This leads to the tissue ischemic changes. During this period, the spiral arteries undergoes in spasm. This period of cycle is sometimes referred as regressive phase or regressive changes. Without hormonal support, there is damage of arteries at the basal part, and breakdown of the ischemic changes in the endometrium is seen. Necrosis of vascular cells leads to microhemorrhage and blood cells leak out. The status of blood. See, in menstrual phase, with these changes, with these regressive changes, menstrual phase starts. What happens in it? With the lysis of corpus luteum, the hormonal level is low, which leads to, and vessels are already in spiraling phase, and this leads to intense spasm of spiral arteries at the base, which leads to tissue ischemia. The stasis of blood and spasm of arteries leads to escape of blood out of vessels through the damaged wall. The blood, along with superficial functional zone, shed out into the uterine cavity, and menstruation started. So menstrual flow, how it stopped? Menstrual flow stop as a result of combined effect of prolonged vasoconstriction, myometrial constriction, and local aggregation of platelets with the deposition of fibrin around it. And menstrual phase happens if fertilization doesn't occur and pregnancy doesn't occur. So, sudden diminution of estradiol and progesterone secretion will cause demise of corpus luteum. But if pregnancy occurs, the endometrium doesn't shed out, the source of progesterone is maintained initially with the corpus luteum in first 3 months, and later this function is taken up by placenta, which provides as a source of progesterone and causes thickening of endometrial bed and nutrition of developing embryo. So day 1 of menstruation is called, the first day of bleeding is considered as day 1 of menstrual cycle. Normal menstrual cycle is around 28 days. So what is the first day? First day is the first day of bleeding. Here is also, you can see, it is the first 4 days is the bleeding phase. Next 4 to 14 days is the proliferative phase, and rest of cycle 14 day to 28 day is the secretory phase of the menstrual cycle. The proliferative phase are under effect of hormone estrogen, and the secretory phase are mainly under the effect of progesterone and estrogen. So now we will discuss some abnormal uterine bleeding. What are the abnormal uterine bleeding? How can you categorize it? What are the abnormal bleeding phases? So first one is menorrhagia or hypermenorrhea. What is menorrhagia? It is defined as cyclic bleeding at normal interval. The bleeding is either excessive in amount or in duration or both. Excessive in amount means if it is more than around 80 ml. So it is defined as cyclic bleeding at normal interval. The bleeding is either excessive in amount or duration or both. Next is polymenorrhea. It is defined as cyclic bleeding. Bleeding is cyclic, means cycle is maintained where cycle is reduced to an arbitrary limit of less than 21 days and remain constant at that frequency. Next one is metrorrhagia. It is defined as irregular acyclic bleeding from uterus. The cycle is irregular and cycle is also not maintained. It is not a fixed duration. It is not repeated after a certain interval. It is acyclic. So irregular acyclic bleeding is metrorrhagia. Oligomenorrhea also is a abnormal uterine bleeding or bleeding disorder, menstrual disorder. In it, menstrual bleeding occur more than 35 days apart and which remains constant at that frequency. The next one is, or the last one is, the hypomenorrhea. When the menstrual bleeding is unduly scanty and lasts for less than 2 days, it is called hypomenorrhea. So it is the end of the topic. Thank you.